This episode is brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Zach Miller Agency. If you're looking for an insurance agent with a personal touch, someone willing to have the real conversations about what's important to you, assistance with submitting claims, and offering quality coverage options, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Zach Miller Agency may be the place for you. Whether you need home, auto, farm, commercial, life, or health insurance, we're here for you. Check us out at agentzachmiller.com. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agriculture Insurance Company.
My next guests are from 402 Baggerz here in Norfolk. Dusty and Preston, thanks for making time to be here today.
No problem. Thanks.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm Zach Miller with my co-host Vance Kole,
Thanks for coming on, guys.
No problem.
and we are touching base with the 402 Baggerz. Let's get a quick background on both of you. Dusty, let's start with you. Where are you originally from?
Grew up in Hayter, but went to school in Pierce, Nebraska, and now living here in Norfolk.
Awesome. What, you went to Pierce High then?
Yep.
Any sports or activities or anything?
Yeah, did football, baseball, track.
Kind of the whole
works,
thing.
yeah.
Small school is usually what you do, right?
Yep. Graduated in 05.
Nice.
Yep.
I forget you're older than me.
Yep.
Forget about that. And Preston, I guess.
Yep.
College?
Yeah, went to Northeast for auto body. Did that for about, I think, 7-8 years, and then got out of it. Started doing mechanic work on diesel trucks, and then realized kind of wasn't me, and then started doing the part sales of it.
There you go. That's
Love it.
better.
Yeah.
A little less harsh on the body.
Oh yeah, big time.
What was your driving factor on choosing Northeast and then deciding on that degree at the time?
Just love customizing stuff, and that's kind of like my art kind of stuff. Even now today, it's like what I love doing, and
Yeah.
still kind of do it on the side a little bit here and there.
Your little TV box you got going on.
Oh yeah,
That was kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
You do a lot
Thank
of
you.
crazy little tinkering things, don't you?
I do. Yeah,
That's awesome.
keep my mind going.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Preston? I know you and I've got a long history together, but
Yeah.
the people don't know that. So
Grew up in Norfolk. Graduated Norfolk High 06. That's when I graduated. Same as you.
we're old.
Yep. Old stuff. Sports, football, basketball, track. Just the main three, all the way through from what I can remember.
Don't forget band.
Oh, and band. Yeah, band and jazz band.
Not all the way, but
Yep. Pretty
No
much,
kidding.
except for the
What
last
instrument?
year or two.
What instrument?
Saxophone.
Nice.
and we both
You
played
guys were
saxophone.
both saxophone?
No kidding.
That's actually how we met. Was like the precursor from like 6th grade into 7th. They brought us all in that were gonna play band for like a summer called band camp, and that's how we met. Actually,
This one time at band camp?
one time
Yeah.
at
One
band
time at
camp,
band camp.
there was
At
a
a
little
concert.
incident with the saxophone.
Yeah. Concert in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I did. Football, basketball, track. So
What college? You did a little bit of college, right?
yeah, a little bit at Northeast. Did about a year of marketing, and then did like a year of business administration, and then just kind of decided that wasn't my gig, and just
Yeah.
kind of just like I don't know what I'm going to go into, and just kind of did my own thing. Ended up getting a pretty decent career-ish out of FedEx. Started with FedEx as a pack handler, kind of worked my way up through the ranks, and finally ended my career as being a driver for about 5 years or so. And
That's pretty good for you
And
too
that's-
for the time you were there.
yeah, I was there for about a total of 12, 13 years total. So,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Man.
it's just crazy to think about it. But yeah, it's what
You
it
went,
was.
you went from driving every day to sitting at home.
Yep, now I sit at home.
Well,
Yep.
office job at home.
Yep, insurance claim adjuster from home. So it's pretty hard work rolling out of bed and crawling downstairs and climbing back up to get another cup of coffee. So
Yeah, I think people hate adjusters more than they hate insurance agents right now, to be honest with you.
yeah, I get it every day from shops. So
That's funny. All right, so 402 Baggerz. What prompted the start of 402 Baggerz?
It's a little bit of love of the sport, actually.
Yeah, so I guess if people don't know 402 Baggerz, I guess we can go to a little bit of background, I guess, with it. So 402 Baggerz is basically just a local Northeast Nebraska, Norfolk, Nebraska cornhole group is what it is, essentially.
Where'd the name come from?
We were gambling a bunch of different names.
Yeah,
out there.
we had like a list of names, essentially. I think basically it's just because it was like 402, like that's our main area code, and just I mean you're throwing bags, so 402 Baggerz. Once we said it, it was just like
Nice.
It
like,
clicked.
Yeah,
Sorry to
like
interrupt
that's
you. I was
Were you
kind of
guys
being
the
facetious.
first baggers or the second or third Baggerz. I've seen some other ones, like there's a 308 Baggerz, I
Yep.
think, now. And
They're all starting to do the area codes. So,
Yeah.
and being in the part sales with semis and stuff, they always announce their names that way. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? Why not do something like that with cornhole?
kinda cool.
Then all of a sudden it just took off, and there was starting to be other ones popping up with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you, but you
Yeah.
were, so the background. Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just basically a local cornhole group. I mean, we meet up. I'm sure we'll probably get into it later, but meet up once a week. Go to the Cove behind Midtown Event Center, and that's where we play out every Wednesday. So it's just a fun group of people. Show up, anybody and anyone can show up. It's not a age restricted or you have to be a certain type of player. Anybody can show up. Type of thing.
As long as you can make it from one side of the board to the other side in 27 feet, you're good. Come
do
play.
you have to like join your group? People that show up, do you expect them to like join the 402 Baggerz or whatever?
No, they don't have to. If you just want to see, like, just in case, if you want to follow us on Facebook page, just in case we have to move the night because the Cove's got something else going on,
Yep.
then it's just easier to follow us. And
Any kind of membership fee or anything?
Nope.
Is
Nope.
there pay to play?
$10.
Yeah,
$10.
just $10 a night. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not a league per se. It's just more of a nightly tournament format is what it is. And you're
It's a week, one tournament every time. Like it's you starting from scratch every time.
Yep.
No like points, overall points or
Yep.
anything like that.
nothing like that. Nope.
Because we,
ever get into league?
it's
I don't
kinda-
know.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I don't want to put the pressure on the people coming in all the time. Like, they have to feel like they're dedicated to show up every Wednesday. Because in the summertime, you want to have vacation with your family. You know, you want to go camping, you want to do all that stuff. And then during the school time, you got sports. All that stuff.
Just in case anybody couldn't hear that, he asked if they're ever going to get into league.
Yeah.
We don't have an extra mic, so
Yeah, so Cole doesn't have a mic tonight. I apologize, everybody. Along the same lines, you probably don't want to lose some of the traction you guys have gotten by trying to do a league and people feel
Right.
obligated and
Yeah.
Exactly.
because that makes things tough.
Yeah. I mean, we get. Our locals and stuff, or regulars and stuff that come in, they always ask if we're going to do a league, and it's just like, we can, but if 10 people decide that they can't show up for 3 out of the 8 weeks that we do it, they're kind of out of the running for money.
Will that also scare away some of the lower skill tier people?
It could.
It could, yeah.
And you probably don't want to do that because it's kind of you're trying to include everybody, right?
Right.
Because we want
Yeah.
the people that are like really good to help out the people that just started and kind of get them involved in the game and kind of help them learn. From a year ago, seeing some of these people start playing is just crazy where they're at now. They're
sure.
doing a fantastic job.
do you try to do you guys go as a group to other events and try to represent you guys? Do you send people to if any of your guys that are regulars or whatever come play for you guys, do they represent you guys at other events?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
look for that?
Yeah. We don't expect them to. For instance, our jersey there that we have there, we do jersey buy-ins about once or twice a year for new members and stuff. If they ever want to get one, we can always order on demand too, type of thing. But, right now we're going through a middle of a new jersey design, so we still haven't released any mock-ups or anything yet. We're still kind of waiting on that stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are dedicated to go to national events and regional events, and they'll throw the jersey on and wear it and stuff and kind of show support that way. Otherwise, we always try to go up to Grand Falls, which is going to be coming up here in February, I think, of next year.
Did they move it to March because of the weather?
Yeah,
or
it's
was it
February,
January?
March,
Okay.
right around there.
Yep.
But it's a big Triple Crown national event type of thing. But it's at a casino, and you just show up. And Friday night's a blind draw, so you can be paired with anybody from, South Dakota, Minnesota,
So
Iowa,
it's
whatever.
individual. It's not teams. You don't show up as a team. You just show up by yourself,
Yeah.
and you could get
there's-
stuck with somebody.
At each tournament, I guess you could say, they could have different side things, where there's singles, there's doubles, and blind draw, like he was just saying.
Blind draws at doubles,
Yeah.
or is it single?
The blind draw is kind of where the computer will pick your partner for you. But me and Preston were going up to Grand Falls last year. We were going up as a team for play doubles on a Saturday. But Friday night, the night before, they do the blind draw where the computer picks your partner for you. Like you said, you can be picked with anybody there, which is really cool.
That's interesting.
It's kind of like a wedding reception. Everybody's just out there getting drunk, and it's just a good time.
Yeah,
It really is.
Friday night's usually the party night.
Yeah.
Everybody just goes and meets up. Saturday gets a little more serious. You bring your own partner, and then Sunday is just singles. So you're just by yourself on Sundays when you play.
Entry fee for that? Is there one?
Yeah, that's a little bit more. I think it's usually $40 per team event, and then I think it's $30 for a single event.
Yeah,
That's
and
not too bad.
that's at the lower half too.
Yeah.
There can go all the way up to the open, which could be, I don't know, 80.
Yeah,
100
70,
some
80
bucks.
bucks for an
Yeah.
entry.
Oh, so
but-
that's like there's like
So
divisions.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
handicapped or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do those scores happen then? Is that little tracking thing you guys use to like?
Yeah, so we use tablets with the scoring system of Scoreholio is what it's called. It's a free to use program. Anybody can download it on their phone and use it. I mean, even if you want to play backyard games, like you can download it, keep track of scores and stuff. But yeah, that keeps track of everything, like how many times you throw the bag in the hole, how many times the bag goes off the board, how many times it lands on the bag or on the board. All of that stuff there.
It even gets pretty technical where they call it sandbagging, where we
Yeah.
do rounders before the tournament, and if it kind of shows like, hey, he wasn't playing his best on rounders, and now he's killing it.
Similar to golf league
Yep.
type
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
Handicaps
exactly
on a
it.
golf. Yeah.
Yeah.
When there's a sandbagger.
Yep.
That's that's kind of cool. Those events. Is there a lot of those types of events around the area, or is that kind of like a national thing?
It seems like over the last like 5 years, it's picked up quite a bit more.
Yeah.
It's gaining traction quite a bit more, especially like in the youth areas. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even know how many kids that we have show up that are I call them kids because they're under the age of 16. But I mean, I don't know how many kids we even have show up. We probably have at least 10 to 15 kids that show up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You guys have a top level player that shows up there, right? Like a young.
Yeah, we got a couple guys that are pretty high quality. I guess the only real main one, I guess, is Ryan. I guess.
It was Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Widenfield from Hartington, and he's actually an ACL pro, which you'll see on ESPN and stuff like that. And he just
Really?
turned 16, 17?
17, I think.
Wow.
Just turned
pretty sure.
17.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and he does really well.
and he doesn't miss either.
And he's also looking for a partner this year. He
Yeah.
needs to group up with somebody
Yep.
for the new ACL season.
I think unfortunately, what was the condition? You had to have the first name of Ryan though, so you
Yep.
could be Ryan
Makes
Square
it
again
easy.
this year.
Do
Something
you
like
guys
that.
want to attempt to like sponsor anybody like that, where they like have the 402 baggers actually do the sponsorship for that?
Yeah,
We kind
actu-
of did.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, this last year we actually got approached by two separate kids, and we actually sponsored them at more of a local, regional level. I would say is where they're kind of at right now. Yeah, so we sponsored two separate kids this last year.
What's
With
that
the group.
entail? You guys paying their entry fees for things, or giving them jerseys, or how's that working?
Yeah, it kind of goes a little bit of both. I think it kind of goes towards like help with entry fees. It goes pay towards like bags, like new bags for the
Oh, yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Because you show up with your own to events. You bring your own bags.
We do supply some. We do have some. If somebody shows up and doesn't have any, we got them. But most people do. They do supply their own.
Yep.
Because there's is there a requirement, or aren't they
Yeah.
all the same, or
They actually really aren't. No, there's different weights. You can't go beyond a certain weight of too heavy or too light. But then has to be a certain fill, certain fabrics, so forth. Yeah. They'll have to weigh it about the same.
Yeah, weigh the same and be the same dimension.
Yep.
I think is what that is.
So it's not the ones we're buying at Walmart for the backyard.
No,
Okay.
not quite. No.
is there as many arguments at a Wednesday night event as there is like at let's say you're in my yard and it's me and my brother playing cornhole together? Like, is there that type of arguments about
sometimes
wine and bitches?
Yeah, there can
sometimes
be.
it can be. I mean, a lot of the regulars, they'll get kind of like paired up unevenly or whatever it is, or unequally, I guess, however you want to call it. But I mean, there's a lot of banter back and forth, especially like when it gets to that third place, second place, first place rounds. Like there's a lot of little small talk and bickering between.
I mean, I'm
everybody.
talking usually at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Generally,
Yeah,
you know,
we
we got
got-
the
sometimes we got
glow in the
hats
dark
flying.
bags. That's what we're playing, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, we got hats flying every now and
Yeah.
then. We got
Oh,
people
yeah.
throwing bags against the walls. Like we got a little bit of banter going on.
You know, we're only playing for 5 hours, so people hammer those beers out quick.
Right. And you guys aren't playing for money at that point, right?
Well,
At
Where?
the Cove, like when you do it
Yeah.
your Wednesday night.
So that $10 entry fee that goes towards first place, second place, and third
Oh,
place.
so you do that every week?
Yep, every
I didn't
week.
realize that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then we also have ticket drawings for what we call as airmail,
Yep.
which we kind of post through our Facebook Live and stuff like that. But it's essentially the same diameter of the cornhole board, the hole, and it's just in a tube form, not a board, nothing else, just a tube, and it sets back about about 30 feet, 33 feet?
Back to back, a board is 37, so it's probably 38, 39.
Yeah. So
Make it a little more challenging. for
back
everybody.
sides of the board, and you basically have, if your number gets drawn, you get 4 chances from your 4 bags to make it inside that tube, and if you do, you win extra cash. If not, that carries over to the next week, and it just keeps growing.
It's kind of like a jackpot thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've added up to, I think, 879 a bag one time. Somewhere around there.
879.
Yep.
Jesus.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
So, and it only takes like $1 for a ticket. So if you get that lucky one ticket that you bought and you walk away, they make it one, it's $800 in your pocket for nothing. So
That's awesome. I've watched that. I try to catch that when I can. When
Yeah.
you guys put that on Facebook.
it's usually a pretty, I mean, we usually have a lineup. Well, we make everybody kind of line up on the side, so it adds a little bit more pressure to create the
Yeah, it's
line
like
and
right
stuff.
Down the camera, right down the camera.
Yeah. So it adds a little bit of nerve, especially if the pot's high enough. It
Oh, yeah.
rattles your
It adds to
knees a little bit. So
So where did your guys' love for coal or for coal
for Cole,
for cornhole come from?
I didn't know you guys love Cole. But
yeah, apparently we do now. Well, let's see. Where did that come from?
Cole, you do have somebody that loves you.
I'm glad he doesn't have a microphone right now.
Well, I'll let you kind of start, and I'll kind of tag along. 'Cause
Well, Tony, he's the other one that kind of helps us with the league too. He kind of got me involved in a little bit, and we were going to Northeast. There was another league out at Neely location. We were going out there quite often, and I fell in love with it right away. And I was like, you know what, I do want to start something of my own and really have not control, but have the fun. I'm seeing everybody come together and enjoy this sport as much as I did. And I was like, it's time. And then Preston started coming in, and I was ready, but I wasn't quite ready yet. And then he started coming with Tony and I, and then we were doing playing over there for about another year.
yeah,
think it was.
a little over a year, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I started coming with you guys, and I kind of fell into it too a little bit. I mean, it's just something extra to do in this area. Like normally, I think before, I was playing softball like all the time, and then of course me getting old, getting injured and stuff. I'm like, I need to find something else to waste my time. And I, during the winter months, like I had shuffleboard, and then summer months I was like, I need something else besides golf and whatever else. And I'm like, this is easy.
Is it?
Just
Yeah.
all
Throw
you're
a
doing
bag
is
in
throwing
them.
bags and try to be competitive that way, and that's how we kind of branched out. And then we just kind of thought that we needed something a little bit more local. And
I mean, for
wanted
the size of town, it was like, why aren't we doing something here? Why isn't this sport growing in the town? And
Yeah.
we did bring it to Norfolk a little bit, and people who we ran it under just wasn't quite working out. And we had an opportunity, and he called me up one day, and he was like, let's do this. Let's get this thing going.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah,
Kind of just sparked out of nowhere, huh?
pretty
What,
much.
What did it take for you to get this started? Like, what kind of headaches did you guys run into?
You know, at
To be
first, I was kind of like shocked. I'm like, this is going too smooth.
Yeah.
You know?
We really didn't have that many, too many headaches. I mean, obviously, when you want to try to something local, you want to try to get, you want to try to come up with a name. Obviously, the name of everything. You want to try to find a location. I think probably the hardest spot was a location. Just trying to find something that was big enough to allow for us to set up that many sets of boards and to have a room for people to store their stuff. And if we could have drinks, if we could have food, everything like that, that was probably the hardest spot. Sponsors and stuff like that all stuff came pretty
Pretty much after, because we had enough sets of our own boards to use. And after we kind of did a few nights, it's like, okay, we need to reach out and start getting some sponsors.
Yep. Yeah, because at the time, I think our only really leeway spot was at District. And they're at the event center, which, I mean, Andrew was grateful enough to let us come in and use the facility and, help us out tremendously and grow
It was awesome.
the sport and everything else that we could. And from them, I don't know if we could have even got our foot in the door anywhere else because
Nobody really understood the sport, honestly. They didn't think, oh, that won't bring enough people in, that won't bring enough, revenue or whatever. And we're just thankful that they let us start there.
Do you guys bring food to your events, like potluck style food, or do you buy food from the venues, or what do you do?
Every now and then we can bring food. I mean, we allow people to bring in food where we're at now, so you can bring in whatever you want for a supper, a snack, or whatever you want for
I
throughout
just
the
didn't know
night.
if you, like, as a group would bring stuff to, like potluck style stuff.
TaylorMade, they're a big sponsor of ours. And
Gotcha.
sometimes when he's got stuff left over, he's bringing it in. He goes,
That's
eat
good.
it all up. So there's times he does
that's
that.
Because
So
he
we appreciate that.
participates, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah. Yep.
The only thing we ask is just don't bring drinks in.
Yeah.
Because that's where the Cove makes their money
Right.
is off the pop and the alcohol and stuff.
Yep.
So
Are they kind of a sponsor then too for that?
main, yep,
Yeah.
I'd say main
Yep.
sponsor.
That's good.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Do you guys have a lot of members?
I looked the other day just to be curious how many people have actually showed up at our events total. We've had 118 people show
That's
up
good.
Just
total.
total,
really
just
good.
new people or whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
what would you say consistently?
I would say every Wednesday night, I bet we probably have at least 30 people show up.
Yeah.
On
I would
average.
agree. Every time I've been there, there's been at least that many.
Do you guys? So every Wednesday you talk about you do your blind draw, your cup, or your doubles, your singles. What do you guys do? You just change every Wednesday, or
Yeah.
you guys do a different event every
Yeah.
Wednesday?
What I've
Yeah.
been doing lately is I always kind of picked, but then I was kind of like, you know what? I want to see what everybody else wants to play. So I do a poll on Facebook and do like a switch holio, which is different partners for rounders. And then when the tournament actually starts, then the computer will pair you up with the correct partner depending on how we split it. And then there's blind draw, and then we do a draft, like the NFL draft kind of thing. You pick your
You
partner.
pick your partner.
Yep. And then singles we'll do an A division and B division, just so you don't have somebody really good, just hammering on these new people coming in. It's not gonna make it fun for them. So we do 2 divisions there. I'm missing any? there was like 5 of them.
Singles, AB. No, that's basically about all of them for the most part. Yeah.
Is that just to kind of keep it? Obviously, you don't want to get it. You don't want to be redundant, right? People
Yeah.
get bored.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah. It's just fun just to switch it up, and it makes it more fair for everybody, especially
Probably
with new
get
people.
more winners that way too.
Yeah,
especially when you're doing like blind draws or switching.
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
partners
Get a
and
different
stuff like
variety.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think we've ever had. Maybe I could be wrong because I've kind of skipped over this last summer because of golf season, but I don't think we've ever had back-to-back week winners before, have we? If we have, it's maybe like once.
I was gonna say maybe when Zach Brown shows up, or Brown
Yeah.
shows up.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, I really don't think we have.
it's really hard to win back-to-back weeks,
Yeah.
like in the formats that we use.
that. Gotcha.
So I mean, it just makes it fair. I mean, it spreads the money out between a little bit more people and gives everybody a chance to win a little more equally, essentially.
What kind of future plans are you guys looking at? Well, hang on. Let's pause on that. Go back to the sponsors. How did you guys go about getting sponsors? What was your guys' tactics?
I think essentially, we just kind of started with like a tier list, is what it was. Like if you wanted to be like a, kind of like a bronze sponsor, this is what you got. This is the package that you got. If you wanted to be a silver sponsor, this is what you got. A gold and then platinum, essentially. And then you had to be at least like a silver or gold in order to be like on the back of our shirt. So, I mean, if we wanted to, you could probably flip that over and see. But I think on the back, we have about 9 sponsors, 7 to 9 sponsors on the back of that.
Yeah, I think
mock-up.
so. Yeah. Now we're at 18.
Yeah, no, we have
18
about 18
sponsors.
sponsors.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, they all kind of range from, $50 to $100 all the way up to, like $1,000. So it just depends. And then each sponsor, like each level, you get certain things. So if you donate, say like $500, you get your name on a set of boards, and we show your boards while we're playing with our live feeds. And then plus your name goes on the back of our jerseys, and all of our banners that we have, your logo's on there to help.
That's a
Definitely.
one-time sponsorship, or is it a yearly thing?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, we really haven't talked about that a whole lot because this product.
It's new enough.
Yeah. I mean, all this stuff, these boards are going to last.
Right.
They'll last a long time. And I don't want to be hunting down these sponsors, like every year.
Right.
Because, we do save enough off to the side every week to help if something breaks. Just like last week, we had a tablet break. So that money from there comes from that and replaces it. So it's not something, I don't know if we need to go out every year, but
Yeah, it'd probably be like an every 2-year
Yeah.
ordeal, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, once you pay for the boards once, I mean, you really don't have to buy another set of boards. They're going to last you, 5-6 years.
The only thing I could think of maybe is like Jim Callio does. Goes, gets a sponsor, uses it for a year, gives the boards back to them, and then go buy some other sponsors for another set of boards. So maybe start
It's
doing
neat.
something like
I
that.
mean, you guys have the sponsors, but you guys really haven't had much overhead.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, because whatever is left over from, sponsorship money, we either put our money in our own pocket. I mean, we put our money in towards like tablets or like other essentials. But once they're paid for, like that's it. Like we don't have to pay electricity. We don't have to pay,
Right.
Do you
like
guys
anything
store
else.
your boards there at at
Yeah.
the Cove.
That's
Yeah.
why I can't
So
say
you don't have
thank-
to.
Yeah, that's why I can't say thanks enough to Midtown Event Center and
Yeah.
for Scott and Tiffany for letting us use the place, and we appreciate everything there.
Yeah, that's awesome, you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
shout out
'cause-
to Andrew and all that stuff in the beginning.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause
Without
we kept
them-
we kept all of our stuff there at downtown event center too, all the time and stuff like that when we were there. And it's not only does it save us time, like it saves us like headaches and trying to fit everything in our vehicles for transport time and
Right.
Yep.
and everything like that.
Because
Like
by the
that's-
time you're done, you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with
Yes.
this. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like 11:30 at night, and it's like I don't want to haul these all back home. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week was a killer because we ended up having 44
43
people
or 44. Yeah,
44 people show up
Jeez.
to play.
Wow.
That's a lot.
So that was a lot.
That's awesome.
And
It's really cool.
yeah, so we stayed a little bit later than usual, but I mean it was worth it just to.
Do you have a lot less during summertime? A lot of
Yeah.
more people have more stuff going on than wintertime. You guys pick up.
Yeah, I think so because you were one of them that did golf. Kathy does golf, and I think there's like 3 or 4 of them that do golf.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you always got those usual summer activities. I mean, you got disc golf league, you got pool, you got darts. Some of that stuff there. You got softball's a big one.
You got some
And
farmers
golf.
too.
And
Yeah.
farming and
Coming
stuff.
in.
So I mean, you're always gonna have activities. So you just kind of pick a day out of the week that hopes and fits with everybody's like good majority of people's schedule. If not, well then you just kind of say,
It's nice to have something to look
Well,
forward to in the middle
right.
of the week.
Yeah.
Like you get halfway
Yeah.
through and like, all right,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's nice.
So we kind of. I mean, last year I think we had like Wednesdays as like a summer deal, or last year we did Mondays as a summer,
Oh, that's
and
right,
then
yeah.
Wednesdays we switched back to winters.
Mhm.
But then this year we just decided to say,
Just
screw it, just
one
keep
one
everything-
day the whole time.
Yeah,
There
keep
was like
everything
a
on one
switching
day.
softball or something like that.
Yeah.
So that worked out perfect. That was
Mhm.
great.
Yep. But yeah, so yeah, we're just down to one day a week now.
It's probably good to keep it though on one day the whole time though, right? The same
Yeah.
day.
Gets
Yeah.
everybody in that routine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. A little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
People can plan ahead
Yeah.
for certain things in the
Yeah.
different.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
we got people that come from Fremont, Sioux City.
Really,
Oh, yeah.
every Wednesday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it Wednesdays, right?
Yeah.
Wednesdays, yeah. Wausau. I mean, we got people that are coming around like basically an hour away.
Yeah.
just to come play.
Albion and yep.
And play till 11:30 and then go home.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
They love.
I mean,
it.
I
They
like
love it.
I love like golf. I love certain things. I ain't doing that.
It's just a weird,
especially during the middle of the week because I got to go to work the next
yeah.
morning.
It's just a weird dedicative sport. Like I don't
is.
know of any other sport that people will stay like till the end. Just
Does
to see
like
who
everybody
wins.
stay? They don't.
Not
Not very many
everybody.
people leave.
Yeah, well, usually when you lose twice, like people will just leave or they may hang out for another drink or two and then just kind of, mosey on out. But I mean, this last week we had probably 15, 20 people
Sticking around to
that
the end.
stuck around to the end just to see who won. And it's just like, okay, guys, it's like 12:30. Like, are we cleaning up anytime soon, or what's the plan here? We're gonna stay all night and party or what? But yeah, we got people coming up from all over just to come play. So
That's cool. It is cool you guys have the Cove now. I know, like I said before, whatever, but it is a nicer spot for having the
It is. And I want-
boards.
Yeah, and I'll have to say, big thanks to Brandon and Andrew for getting this thing going, because without them, this never would have happened. We might even still be in the making, but we didn't think it was going to blow up this big, this quick.
Right.
And Clinder knew that, and he goes, I knew you guys were going to outgrow this from the day one. He goes,
Right.
this got big, and he goes, I knew you guys were going to be moving, so
Yeah.
we appreciate it. And but yeah, 4
Yeah.
boards on the inside at the Cove now.
Plus,
and
you can fit some on the outside, right?
Yeah.
When it's
Yeah, we
nice
can-
out.
Oh,
yeah, we
yeah.
can fit a lot at the outside if we really wanted to. If we wanted to stretch, I think we could probably fit another like 8 to 10 sets probably.
yeah,
Outside.
easily.
Really? I guess I
Yeah.
I didn't step out there the last
Because
time I was there.
their whole back end or their back area is all fenced in. So
That's
you
that
can,
big patio thing,
it's the
right?
big
Yeah.
patio where
I
they have
just didn't realize
concerts
it
and
was
stuff.
that big.
Oh yeah, it's
It
big.
goes almost all the way to the river, doesn't it?
Mhm.
I mean, it goes a long ways
Wow.
back there.
Oh, yeah.
And plus it's fenced in, so you can take your drinks out there too. So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
a
It's a big
plus.
plus. Mhm.
I didn't realize it was all fenced in back there.
Mhm.
They
I'll have
got
to go check it out.
underneath that covering, whatever, they got lights in there too. At least you can get
Speakers.
speakers out there too. So you talking the mic on the inside, they're hearing everything on the outside. So
That's
it works
awesome.
out great. Yeah.
Did you guys play music during it, or
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like through the jukebox, or they let you play your own music?
They got Spotify.
Yeah,
on
they
top
got
of it for us.
Spotify, yep.
Yeah.
And then we always have I think there's 6 TVs, 5 TVs, something like
Yeah.
that in there. So we always got a football game or basketball game or whatever season it's on.
Yep.
There's always a game playing if there is a game.
If
or
somebody
whatever.
wants to watch something, you usually put it on for them.
Yeah.
And then we got a projector there, they got a projector there, and we usually have it displayed what person's playing on what court against who's partnered up with what. So everything's displayed on the screen for them. So they really don't need their phones. So it makes it easier for them.
What's the setup time for that for you guys? Like,
I don't know. You're getting it down pretty quick now since you're kind of like the pro setter upper. But I don't know. We usually get there about 4:30 ish because
I'm there about 4.
open time's about 6 o'clock. So anybody about 6 o'clock on can show up and start practicing and sign up. And start times at 7 o'clock. We get there about I should say you get there about 4 o'clock. Right around there.
You're shortly after.
And I'm shortly after, and we're basically set up and ready by 5 o'clock.
Yep.
So about an hour to set up 4 or 5 boards and
Gives us enough time to
measurements and
throw a little bit before we start checking everybody in, and not.
So you guys can get warmed up while you're doing all the.
Otherwise, you don't get a chance at all.
yeah. It takes me probably 15, 20 minutes to get all the tech side set up, like the 2 cameras, and for the streaming setup. Takes about 15, 20 minutes, and then
That's what I love about Preston. He takes care of all that. That stuff's not quite there for me, but he does a great job on that.
is that all your stuff that you bring from home, or do you guys have it for the?
most of this stuff was like sponsored stuff that we ended up getting. So we ended up getting a laptop and some cameras, some webcam cameras, and whatever money basically was left over. We bought cables and.
Well, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That was about
I figured
it,
you were bringing your stuff down there.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not bringing my personal setup. No, that'd be a pain. If anything, I'd just leave everything there and be like, Tiffany, I just need a key so I can play games at night. No, that'd be a headache. But yeah, no, we just have a little laptop and we just stream everything off the laptop and go with it. So it's pretty pud stuff.
Have you guys looked at it? Do you guys get a lot of watchers that watch the Facebook stuff?
A little bit, not too much, but
Yeah,
I'll
I
catch
think
a few here.
yeah,
and there.
every now and then I think we kind of do. It kind of hovers between like 5 to 10 viewers. I think a lot of people more watch like the airmail stuff
That's
than they do the actual stream, just because we have to have the actual stream muted.
right.
Just because we play music,
music.
otherwise you get the big old Facebook copyright
Yeah.
crap. So, so otherwise I think if we could go without having it muted, I think we'd probably get a lot more. But
Do you think it's usually people that aren't able to make it that day that usually come that watch?
I do. Yeah, I've seen a few like that because they had softball going on,
Yeah.
out of town, and they've been watching that.
That's kind of cool. You guys give them that little
yeah,
spot to watch them.
Do you guys show like updated scoring on the live when you do the live or not?
So it shows the scores of the current matches that are going on. But with the app that we use on your phone, like if you download the app, you can see where everybody's at as far as like
like
placements,
even if you're not
live
there,
time.
whatever.
Even,
Yeah.
even if you're not live time.
It's
yeah.
open to the public. Everybody can just go into it and
Yeah,
see
so even
Gotcha.
if you didn't even show up for like a month's time, you can go every Wednesday and just scroll through and be like, oh hey, yeah, Dusty's 2-0 so far, Zach is 4-0. Like you can go through and see everybody's stats and everything.
Gotcha.
So
To anybody that maybe has thought about showing up or thought about coming out, what do you guys want to say to those kind of people that are maybe scared to come, afraid to come?
Just do it. I know at first it's nerve-wracking. It really is. But once you get out there and start playing, it's addicting. It is addicting. Especially when you start winning and you're like, oh man, this is starting to happen. All right, it's starting to click, and you just slowly start getting better and better. And you will kind of plateau a little bit, and then you'll find that slump where I don't want to play, and it comes right back, and you're back up there again.
If they show up and like they don't know what to do, if they need to get their own bags, stuff like that, do you guys like help them through that? And like, hey, we have a list of this is normally what you're going to need for all of your events. This will get you into every event or that type of thing. You guys will work through people with that.
Yeah. And then, for the bag situation, they don't have bags. They got ours to use, and we got big variety of speeds. So we don't want somebody to go out there and spend $100 worth of bags, and not be right for them. So we'd rather have them use ours, get used to it, see what the good feel that they like, speed, slow, fast, and then go purchase their own after that.
What is the price point for entry for somebody that wants to just start out to get a decent set of boards? Maybe if they wanted to do it at home, bags.
I don't know. I don't even know what the average of like a board set would be at, like $250, $300. I think it's
$300
for an average set of actual
regulation.
ACL, regulation boards. And then bags are anywhere between 80 to 120 ish.
Yeah, because what do we pay for the MX ones? 65.
Yeah, it was like 70, 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can get pretty cheap.
But I mean, Black Friday always has like, just like any
that's
other
the time to hit
shopping
it.
vendor, like I think Titan Bags has like usually like a 50% off sale. So you can buy a set of bags for like 40, $50. Like, so that's dirt cheap for a high quality bag. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, those are the two main things. And
Yeah.
everybody can make their own score tower.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
can use your phone if you wanted to
Right.
with today's technology. So
Yeah. So you don't need much after that, just boards and bags, and that's it. So
That's good. It's not too bad. And you wouldn't have to buy the boards, obviously, if you're coming there once a week, right?
No.
You
yeah.
just-
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't even, I mean, granted, I mean, like what Dusty said, I mean, for the first handful, 10 plus times, if you wanted to come try it out and see if it's even something you like, you don't even have to buy bags. Just
Right.
come borrow ours. And
How
And
much different is it going to you guys with high quality bags, a specific board, as opposed to people that just have played yard games? You go from your cheap boards, your homemade boards. I mean, I've played on pretty good boards. I've played on cheap Walmart shitty boards, or whatever. What's your big difference? Is there a huge difference between going from that to where you guys are at?
yeah,
Do you see a lot of people be like, "Oh, this is not what I'm
it's
ready."
yeah. You get answers like that quite a bit because the shitty boards they got bounce,
Yep.
and all that. These don't really have bounces at all. Bags are a big difference, and the other thing is your technique of how you throw. It's kind of like a toss more than just a ball to
Lob.
bag. Yeah, a lob. Yeah, there's a big difference.
yeah, the boards are a lot smoother. They're going to be a lot faster than normal backyard boards. Yeah, like what Dusty's saying, no bounce at all. Yeah, just
Which I've
has-
noticed that because like my cousin made me some custom boards. They're not real boards, but he made custom Husker boards for my mom. Actually, didn't make them for me. He made them for my mom for her birthday. He did a bunch of artwork on them, and they're heavy. So there's
The
no
2x4
like
ones?
it's just
Yep.
fucking
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
like if it hits, it sits or slides. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you're getting. It's not going to bounce off. So.
And then yeah, the bags have two different sides. They have a slow side and a fast side.
Didn't
So-
know that was a thing.
So yeah, so there's
I
yeah.
didn't
That
know,
I definitely
I didn't
didn't know
know until
that
the
thing.
first time I went there, and I'm like, I'm not even going to
I
try.
would never be able to remember that
Yeah.
because I've always played. You got to have a drink in your
Yeah.
hand and
Yeah.
a fucking bag in your hand. I'm
then-
just grabbing a bag and throwing it.
And then each side has its own scale factor from 1 to 10. Obviously, 1 being the slowest and 10 being the fastest. So I think the general normal bags are like a 6-9. So it's
Yeah.
6 on the slow side and then 9 on the fast side.
There is a
for speed
jack.
wise.
So like you tell them what they have to play,
Nope.
No.
or what do
It's
you mean?
Whatever their feel is. Like Preston, he's a high thrower, so he probably wants maybe a little bit of a faster bag. Me, I'm a kind of a flat thrower, so I need a slower bag. So that's just on
so
the
does it
person's
fly
technique.
off the
Yep.
board?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, each bag has its own separate speed. So if you're a newer player, we'd probably recommend like more of a slower bag just to begin with, just so you can kind of control the bag on the board. And then if you're more of experienced, then you can kind of venture off and do a faster bag and kind of get the feel of them that
Or
way.
if you just dunk it every time, you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it.
Just airmail it,
exactly.
just-
If you're like
you got
Ryan,
it.
you can just dunk it every time and just use whatever bag you want and just
It
go
literally
between the
doesn't
legs
matter.
and just throw it and make it in the hole. So
I don't. It seems like it's an easy game. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on
What's
here.
so hard
Yeah.
here?
Why are you guys making this sound hard?
It's also one of those things
Put it
like
in the hole.
you play in your backyard, and obviously a lot of times the boards are a lot closer than they are when you go down there. Too
Yeah.
makes it a big
What's
difference.
the distance between?
27 feet.
yeah, 27 feet between the front of the boards.
I always thought it was 21, so we are playing 6 feet shorter.
Yeah, and it's a good distance away when when you actually get it regulation. I've noticed that.
And the arguments come on like, "Oh, you stepped over." That's the arguments we have
Oh, yeah.
in the yard. It's
Yeah.
like,
And that's-
fucking stop this shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we're switching the system. We're scoring systems this year, point system. So we're switching from score holder to the actual ACL. So you'll actually get points that the same people that play on ESPN, you'll be getting points racked up per week just for playing regular tournaments and stuff. And that's one of their big rule changes this year is that you cannot step over the line, otherwise it's a foul.
So like that wasn't a foul ahead of time. Like that's
No, it really wasn't.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
As long as the
before.
bag was released before your foot hit the ground. Yeah,
Interesting.
it wasn't an issue.
So now you can't land your foot
You can't even go
No
over the
matter
line
what. Can't
even go over
it. At all.
At all.
it's like bowling.
like bowling. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So like before people would have like a follow through, like they would throw it and then they would kind of like stumble in front of the line.
Too many drinks, or that's just how they
It's
throw.
just how they throw. And now it's just like bowling. Like you cannot cross that line now.
Do you have a lot of people that have to throw from the same like I got to be on this side?
Actually, there's no.
I don't know.
Because I've always felt that way in my yard. Like I got to be on one side.
Didn't that probably if you got a partner, then it's like, hey, I got to throw inside if you're okay with throwing outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then you kind of talk to your partner a little bit.
yeah.
Can they switch, or do they have to stay?
Once the game starts, they
you
have to stay
on that
Yeah,
side.
to stay.
And you're always across from each other, not
Crisscross.
Not
yeah,
crisscross.
crisscross. Yeah, across.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think the more experienced players will always ask the newer players whatever side they prefer because they're newer. If they prefer more the inside path, you know, they'll let them play that. Otherwise, I think ultimately, I throw better on the outside when I throw outside.
Outside
but-
means if I'm right hand, I like to be on the right-handed side of the board.
Yep.
That's the way I am. I have to be. Like
Yeah.
it just works better for me.
See,
I
I gotta-
hate being on the left
the
side of the
inside.
board if I'm throwing with my right hand.
See, I got to be inside. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we always kind of pair up if we can because he's an inside thrower and I'm an outside thrower. So
Another good
Usually
thing to
works
have
out.
too is depending on who you're playing against, it's kind of like basketball. Who's going to play more offense and who's going to play defense? Because if you're a person who can block,
Match people up certain
Yep.
ways.
exactly.
Do you guys teach techniques and things to new people too, or are you guys not quite at that level, or do you try?
I think
Yeah.
you kind of have a little bit.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that show up, guys and gals that show up that are the regulars, and they'll see new faces and they'll go and meet and greet them, and try to feel them welcome and feel part of the cornhole family, I guess is the way you want to call it. But yeah, they'll take their time out and they'll try to show them, this is how I throw it to make it be a flat bag. This is what I do. Here's some tips and tricks. I think there's a lot of us in general that probably do that. Just spend a little bit of time, like 5-10 minutes, and just try to help them.
And you're getting to know them too at the same time. That's the cool part.
Yeah. Have you seen more retention because of stuff like that?
I don't know, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's more of your question, I guess, because I've been gone this last month. But overall, I would think that they come back just because of it, just because of the atmosphere and stuff like that. It's more of a welcoming atmosphere. It doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. Like,
Nobody has RBF when they walk in.
No.
no. Like it's usually like people are like the people that leave because they're mad or because they didn't play very good. Or something
It was on
like,
them.
Yeah, it was on them. It's not because we didn't treat them right or
Yeah.
Right.
they didn't have fun or whatever. But
Yeah.
and it's always an added bonus too if they make it to the top 3 and get money back at the end of the night. Whatever. So
Would you say for new people coming, do you have a high retention rate? Or do you have a lot of people that just come for one time and then don't come back again? Or do you have a lot of people that they're going to come back more than once?
I think they're coming back more.
I think it's a little bit of both. It just kind of depends on schedule too. I know.
Maybe not. I'm not talking like the very next week, but they eventually come back again.
Yeah, I would say, I would bet we probably have like an 80-90% retention rate probably, at least.
I would say so.
Like,
That's pretty good.
yeah, there's hardly ever where I would just see one face and I never see him again. Like, it's very, very rare.
Yeah, very rare.
How long have you guys been around? How long have you been doing this?
This is 2 years in October. I think.
Going
it
on
is.
2 years in October, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you've had 118
Yeah.
come through.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on Facebook, we
Might
got a
have
total,
Yeah. Go ahead.
what is it, like over 600, 700
I
members?
just checked.
Yeah.
It was like 636.
636.
Yeah.
And we had
So-
quite a few show up last week, so maybe we're up at that 123 range total. So
How? The reason I asked that was how often do you guys get new members? Is it like do you go a month without getting a new person come through, or is it like maybe once every couple weeks?
I'd say at least a month we're getting.
Okay, we had a little first time ever on the podcast. Had a little power outage, so hopefully we can we didn't check to see where everything was, but we were right about where we left off, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you want to re-ask that question?
Yeah, I'll just ask the same. What I had said is it more people, and we were kind of in the middle of it. You probably answered it, but I said, is it more like regulars that just bring in guests, or is it just new people see your post, or is it new people see whatever that just decide, hey, I'm going to go show up for like your new members type of things?
I think it's basically like a mix of everything.
Yeah, I would say.
Essentially, I think it's between like Facebook posts, regulars that show up, friends of friends that show up. You bump into somebody at the bar and you mention it like, hey, come out and play Wednesday night. We're going to be there, and all of a sudden they show up, and then all of a sudden they become a regular, and then they bring their friends, type of thing, and stuff like that. So I think it's just a mix of everything.
What's a huge plus is when I post everything from the night before, they'll share the pictures of the event, and then their friends see it and like, hey, what's going on? And then usually they'll start
That's the
showing
best
up.
thing with social media. That's what we keep trying to get our listeners to do is keep sharing. Everybody
Yeah.
keep sharing.
Yep.
That's the only way
I
you're going to
see
get
it.
people to see it.
I've seen your posts because I'm following you guys on Facebook. I've just never showed up. I've never been there. I
Right.
don't, because I'm kind of that same way. It's like, well, I play in the yard. I don't, I
Yeah.
take this shit too serious. And if I can get my ass beat, I'm probably not gonna be happy about it. So.
Yeah.
And what's okay too is, come have a drink.
Yeah.
You don't have to play. Just come have a drink and feel the atmosphere a little bit and see how it actually works, and then come play the following week.
Was there a lot of people like me that show up and just have a couple drinks and hang out?
There was a few guys, and then all of a sudden they're playing now.
Yeah, I think they came to check it out
Yeah.
for like a couple weeks just to get the feel of things, and then they just decided to play like that third week going into it, and then all of a sudden now they're now basically regular. I think
Yeah.
they come every week now type of thing. But I mean, even during the tournament or even between our brackets and stuff that we play, there's always a set of boards that usually get open at some point in time. So if no one's playing them, you can just
You
come
just
farther.
go
Yeah,
mess around.
Use it.
just grab our bags and throw and be like, if you're hitting a board and making them into a hole, like maybe I can do this. Like start and show up next week and see what happens. If not, like okay, take another week off, think about it, whatever. It's
Do you get a lot of people as your tournament happens and people start getting eliminated and your boards start getting opening? Do people, we're going to play you and I'm going to bet
Yeah,
you
they'll do a little side
little
gig.
side
Yeah.
bets type of shit. And people will be
Yep.
like, yeah, my night's not over yet. I
Yep.
can take you
Yeah.
type
Oh,
of
yeah.
thing. That happens.
yeah. I think
That's
we've
good.
seen that like
Yeah.
a few times where they do call outs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Be like, hey, you beat me last week. I'm going to get my money back. Like,
Yep.
bet you $10 or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and they'll kind of do that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, we can do whatever. Like we can do like once you get eliminated, we can throw everybody in a hat again and run another separate tournament between the 2-3 boards that we got left open. Like we can do that. We can just have it play
It's
for
almost
fun.
endless of what we can do with the system. That's
Yeah.
pretty
That's cool.
Whatever you want to do, just so it's not wasting.
Have you
wasting
guys
free
ever
space.
gone to like other bars or even at the O or whatever and taking boards and like just messing around type of thing and like just kind of a word of mouth thing like, hey, we do this every Wednesday, like come play with us or come try it out.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually taken like one of our sets of
Yeah.
boards out. I think the only other bar in town, I think, is Mel's that has a set of boards, and they're only open.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And they only have them out for very long, but it's only like 15 feet difference between them out there in the beer garden.
Right.
So you're
Yeah,
kind of
you
like,
don't have a lot of room.
you're kind of like just flicking the
them in.
wrist, type of
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
it's going. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
I just didn't know
unfortunately, no.
if you thought about that or something.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to, if they do like the concert events or whatever it is downtown or the Mimosa Fest or whatever, to put our foot in the door and just be like, if you want to have like a small tournament or something like that, we can bring a couple sets of boards down and do like a big tournament down there. Or Oktoberfest
Yeah.
is always a good one to get our hands into.
Have you guys talked to them about that at all? Because they do what do they do? The
They
buckets?
do like beer bucket pong or
They do
whatever. I know.
buck-pong and
They
they
did- yeah,
actually
they did
they
that.
actually do cornhole.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
they do.
do?
Yeah.
Have you guys
You
You
approached
guys
them
part
at
of
all?
that?
We haven't really approached them yet. We just actually just got a hold of the chambers to put ourselves on the weekly activity list or whatever it is for the area
Oh, yeah.
activities. So we finally got our name on the list there. So you should see us there every Wednesday night on that there. But yeah, other than that, we just have corporate event. I mean, we hold
Yeah.
corporate events and stuff for businesses around town for corporate events there.
We did the Madison County Fair.
Yeah, we did
Did that
Madison
one.
County Fair.
You guys ran the
Yeah.
cornhole there?
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. And then we
Did
helped
they
out.
approach you or did you approach them for that?
A little bit both, in a way. They kind of knew that we were starting something in Norfolk or had something going on in Norfolk, and they just kind of asked us to do it. And then everything went pretty good this year, so they asked us to do it again this next year. So we'll be back down that way again
It's really
this
cool.
next year. Helped out the Madison Boosters in Madison this fall or in this summer, I should say.
And Jordan got us hooked up with the Prairie Days.
Yeah, we
Tilden.
we did the Prairie Days thing in Tilden there for a cornhole event. So yeah, I mean, we're reaching out. But
Yeah. What'd you guys do for the corporate events? You get, I guess you don't have to say, but were you guys paid for that? Was that something that you guys got paid to do to help?
yeah,
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 because we're
good.
taking time off of
Yeah,
our
that's what I
work.
figured. Yeah.
yeah, because we basically bring in our own boards and
So it's
then
kind
we
of a
bring
small
in,
business then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit.
bring in
Yeah.
our boards and our tablets and
Yeah. Last year we did a Continental, and then actually this year they want us to do it again, and we actually do that here in 2 weeks.
Really? That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. so
Yeah, we really appreciate them. They're a great bunch, lively
Yeah.
bunch. You got the
Yeah.
day shift, night shift, and they verse each other. It's really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys hold? Do you guys hold that
At the Cove.
at the Cove?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got asked to do a new core event too.
Oh, that's
but
right.
that day there it got rained out, and we were
Yeah.
supposed to do it at Pop Pumpkin Patch, and
Yeah.
they were going to supply their own boards and stuff like that, and we were just there to help
Yeah.
keep the tournament organized and ran and stuff. But unfortunately, it got rained out. But otherwise, yeah, we could have added that to our list as well. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so
And
We're-
then and we've actually expanded, and now Wayne is kind of helping us expand with that too. Zach Braun runs the show up there for that too. So we kind of get more people expanding out that direction too to know what's going on. So that's pretty
It's
neat
really
to
cool.
have.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like a part of the so you're kind of expanding 402 Baggerz too, Wayne.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
kind of
yeah,
Mhm.
basically just
Yep.
expanding the brand, or I guess the group, I guess
Yeah.
essentially.
It's easier for him. He doesn't have to go buy all the stuff and all the systems, and it's already taken care of. He can use whatever.
that's awesome. You guys continuing? You're gonna want to keep growing like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't see
No issues.
any issues arising as of yet or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a couple other regulars that come in from like the Wausau area that are thinking about trying to start their own thing up north
There's one in
in
Tilden.
Wausau, and then there's another one in Tilden. So I mean, we're slowly putting our name out there, but I think as long as we can, keep our standards, I guess, the same and stuff, and keep everything a family oriented area. I mean, I don't see any issues with it.
As
I
far as the corporate events and corporate retreats and things like that, do you guys see this could end up being some sort of a business you guys could do, like a full-time thing where you expand far enough where you're doing stuff throughout the whole state?
I hope so.
Other states?
I really do.
Yeah, I don't know if we're quite ready for the
Yeah.
state level type of thing, but,
But
I mean, for the
hopefully
for the
potential's
northeast
there.
Nebraska area for sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if any businesses want to reach out and do events, I mean, we're definitely here for it. Just as long as it works on both ends of the schedules and stuff like that.
What is the best way to reach out to you guys if people have questions or if sponsors want to reach out? Or
I'd say through Facebook mostly.
Yeah,
Probably
Facebook for
easiest.
now.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have phone numbers on or not, but I know both of our
Well, if you go to Score Holio, they have my phone number on there.
Yeah.
I've ran into a few times where I'm getting text messages. I'm like, I don't know you. I'm like, oh yeah, this is how they're getting it. Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah, through the scoring app we use, Scoreholio. Otherwise, yeah, Facebook for sure. Just send us a private message either through the group, or I think our names show up as the admins. Just show us a private message.
and it's
through
numbers,
there too.
it's 402 Baggerz, Baggerz.
Yep.
correct.
Okay. And then future plans, get back to that question. I know we kind of just talked about it a little bit, but do you guys have any pre-planned stuff already in your head?
One big thing's been kind of in my head is kind of like with that whole new sport complex coming in. They're doing a pickleball court in there.
Mm-hmm.
It would be awesome if somebody could do something with the cornhole setup.
We've said the same thing with the land party. So everybody's
Yeah.
fighting to get more of
Yeah.
that. That thing's going to
Yeah.
end up huge if everybody gets their way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, space is obviously key.
Mm-hmm.
There's unfortunately a few businesses in town that ended up closing, but I mean, I even bugged Dusty, and I'm like, we should just see what it takes to operate this building or whatever. Like when Ace closed down, I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
that's a big lot inside. Like, granted, it may be too big, but I mean, if you could somehow work out something to where
Some other little
you
darts
have
or
a
pool.
bar, restaurant, and add some other sports or whatever into it, like you could make it into something, but it's just a matter of time and money, I guess, to reach it out. But
Yeah.
I think just our overall goal is just to keep expanding every year and just see what we can do and just grow the sport and make it more of a younger sport than an older sport, and just retain everybody else that show up and play.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is kind of the downside of Nebraska is that you can't be outside year round.
Yeah.
It's something you could
Yeah.
do outside a lot of the time if
Exactly.
it was
Mhm.
nice out all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just one of those sports where
Yeah.
you need space to play and a roof to cover you when you play.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have any other questions regarding 402 Baggerz. There's you.
No, I got most of mine answered.
You guys did a really good job of answering stuff. Do you guys have anything else that you want to get out to the people that are listening about 402 Baggerz or about yourselves? Or, I mean, it's your time to shine right here.
Go ahead.
I'm good. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, anybody is more than welcome to come out, young or old, rookie level to a pro level. Just come on out. It's only $10 a week. We'll make you feel part of the family no matter what. Don't feel bad if you do bad or you do good or whatever. But come on out, show support.
And if you want to come watch, it's not 10, right? You can come in for free.
It's free.
You can come in for free, and I'll even buy you a pop or a beer if you want to come watch. Like, just
Hold
come
him
watch
to it. He'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
him to it.
But yeah, no, it's
And
pretty
with
exciting
it
time.
being at a bar, it's still fine to be under 21 for
Oh,
this
yeah.
event, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, for this event, yeah, because it's technically just more of like an event center is
Gotcha.
basically. I mean, it's not like a bar.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
bar
to
bar,
put that
yeah.
out there just so people
Yeah,
are afraid
yeah,
that, like, if
if
you want to
you-
bring your family out, they
Yep.
can bring your family
Yeah,
out.
if family wants to come out and stay till 11, 12 o'clock, to the end of the show or whatever it is, like, you're more than welcome to. There's no kick out time or nothing like that, just because it's not technically labeled as a bar.
Gotcha.
Essentially. So, but yeah, other than that,
Yeah, just come out and experience. I think at least once, give it a shot, see what you think from there.
I think it's a lot of fun to come watch. I don't know if I'll ever play, but
we'll get you sometime to
Yeah,
come
I'm,
play.
We'll
I'm
get you in
thinking
there.
about maybe trying to play.
Yeah.
This is where
Like
I'm
I said,
at.
yeah, I mean,
I'm competitive, so
yeah, the way
let's
that
try it.
our
Love it.
computer system
Golf's
splits up
about
everybody.
over. My Wednesday night's about to free up. Maybe that's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, the way that our computer split system splits it up, I mean, you could be paired up with the top guy, or you could be paired up with the middle guy. So I mean, it's pretty random, but we can separate it however we need to, just to make things equal for everybody to play.
We're going to be running a new system here soon, so we're actually going over to ACL. So give us a little bit of time to get used to that. So kind of bear with us there as the
is it
nights
quite a
go
bit
on.
different?
I haven't got to mess with it a whole lot. The cornhole league that's in Lincoln, Brad Sebi, he's helping me out with it. He's kind of walking me through how to run it all. So it's a little different.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
that's
that.
just more programming stuff we
Yeah.
got to do, but it's nothing more difficult for the
No.
player,
No.
I guess.
They'll stay the same. Just download a different app and you're set.
Is it free for the player? Is it something you guys have had to pay for?
We pay for it because it controls the whole setup
Right.
of the thing. But the player, they don't have to pay for it. They just need to make a profile so they can get text messages of what court they'll be on and how their outcome turns out and to follow the bracket. But if you actually sign up and I think gold membership, I think it's $45 or $50 maybe, you get $10 off per regional event you go to.
Oh,
So that's
So
pretty
like,
nice.
so
There's a
like the
benefit.
bigger events, the national
Yeah.
events and regional events that
that's
get
kind of
held.
cool.
Mhm.
So,
And with you guys having to pay for it, I'm sure it's a better system, right?
well, we pay for Scoreholio too,
Oh,
but
you
that
do?
Yeah.
that just gives us the ability to add more courts and more features and stuff like
Gotcha.
that.
Mhm.
So, but ACL is the same way, but ACL just keeps track of your local points and stuff. So it's all
And
end
we-
of the year standings for nationwide standings and points.
And we sponsored a couple kids, so we figured, if we're going to be sponsoring them, why not be into the ACL system so
Right.
they get points when they come up and play?
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, I think so.
Okay, we're gonna get to the ending questions that we ask everybody.
Okay.
Don't know if you're prepared for these or not, but
That's all right.
with it being an election year, how do you feel about where the state of our country is right now, and do you feel that we are being well represented at the federal and state levels?
Oh, man. You want to go first? Or?
You need time to think or what?
Yeah.
Okay. National level, I'm worried. Not to that scared point yet, but I'm still kind of worried about what the outcome's going to be. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've been on the other show and stuff, and kind of talked a little bit about the politics there and stuff.
Has that
So
helped you?
What's the other show?
What was it again?
Useless Assumptions for anybody
Yeah.
that doesn't know. He's been a guest host for us
He
before.
has a couple times.
But yeah, I think it's worrisome as a whole. Hopefully, it gets better with this election coming up, and after the election. I mean, you can only go so far as putting in a vote, and then just let everybody else do their take on everything. But other than that, as far as more of like as a state level, I don't know. I'm still kind of 50-50 still. I think we're still being represented pretty good. There's some ins, there's some outs on everything. But, I mean, as general, I think as long as we all just keep our head above the ground and we keep chugging along and, do all your checks and balances and make sure that, if you see something wrong, make sure you have a voice and speak it out. If not, I mean, you're going to be the one to blame, I guess, in the end.
I thought at the state level we were still okay till about a week ago.
Right.
There's some things that
Yeah.
got pushed through that they didn't really pay attention to that are going to affect quite a few people, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But for a while, I thought we were doing all right. What about you?
Yeah, I think state level, I do agree there. It's nothing to be horribly worried about compared to the United States. What's really going on? That scares me. But it's just this is really what we got to offer right now. This is pretty bad, I guess you could say. And what's really crazy is my uncle's from South Africa, and his son came back, and he actually they need to know who we're going to pick because of all the transfers and all that stuff. But listen to him talk makes me think, like, you hear some people worried about, we're going to leave the United States, we're going to be doing this, we're going to get out of here and all that. But it's like, none of that's worth it. None of that's worth it. Stay here. Put your mind where it needs to be. Stay positive through this whole situation.
Yeah, it's definitely tough to stay positive
It
with
is.
some of the stuff
It
going
really
on,
is.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that the two-party system still works in today's time?
So.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know of another system that could, defeat it or get around it.
That's usually the issue that we
Yeah.
run into.
I mean, if there's another system out there that another country has that's more of a proven background, I guess over time, I'd probably vote for it. If there's not, then just stick with what we got.
Yeah.
And
Monarchy.
yeah,
Don't want that.
yeah,
The biggest thing that Vance and I always say is it's just a uniparty. So the system in place is good. It's just that they're not utilizing it the way it's supposed to be used.
Correctly.
I think
Yeah.
they abuse it,
Yeah, they found flaws. They know how to get around.
Yeah.
They know how to use it.
They don't.
especially at the national level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even at the local level. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have local representatives that are the same fucking
Yeah.
thing that are at the national level.
Yeah.
They abuse it, and they're part of the uniparty. So
Yeah. They don't. They're not out for us. They're out just out for themselves.
Yep. To make money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Last question. Where do you see yourself going in the future? Are you enjoying where you are? Do you see yourself staying in Northeast Nebraska?
Well, if Trump can try to get in, I might as well try getting in and fix this place. No, I'm just kidding. I'm happy where I'm at. I really am. With a 6-year-old and a kid that just graduated, a son, and it's just kind of endless where it can go right now. But very happy, and but the whole 402 Baggerz thing is kind of nice to see where that takes off. That's been a big event of our lives right now, and see what happens there in the next couple of years too.
Yeah. Will you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty well grounded here in Norfolk, or at least in the Northeast Nebraska area. Got a couple little ones. Got a full-time job here and stuff like that. But I mean, spent basically my whole life here now, so there's really no reason to leave and bail out now. I'm already committed here for the long haul. So,
Right.
but yeah. So same as what Dusty's saying. Yeah, kind of excited to see what the future growth is for 402 Baggerz and everything else in the communities, and just grow the sport in general in the local area and see what we can do.
Going back to that, is there things like this in the Bears, like Lincoln, Omaha?
Yeah.
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 Like it's just like the group you guys have.
Yep.
So it's not like you guys could expand quite that far, or is that something you guys could do?
you guys work with some of those other groups?
The guy from Lincoln helps me out quite a bit. He's always there when I need him. That's what I appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lincoln, Omaha, Fremont, I think
Mhm.
Columbus has a spot. I mean, then all of a sudden
North
you start
Platte.
branching, you
Yeah.
start branching out like in the west part of Nebraska and central Nebraska and stuff like that, and they start having their areas. But I mean, all the major towns usually have
something.
something going on. If not, I mean, it's usually like the next town over that does, and people travel from.
Because you do
Yeah,
have like a regional manager. We got 2 of them in our state. Lincoln, Brad Seby's one of them, and Jared Rice.
Of the ACL?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And he does the North Platte area. Is that right?
Yep, I think it's North Platte area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you okay, maybe we should have talked more about that. So you guys are a part of the ACL, and you said they have regional managers.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're going
Next
to be
week we
going
will.
into ACL. Yeah, so they kind of have like
You
regional.
started
managers.
off not part of it.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of get everything underneath your belt. Kind of understand it all.
Yeah.
Get used to it, and then
So now is this something where you guys have to answer to?
No, not really. Mostly if we just got questions.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and then they kind of help with doing like events.
Mhm.
Like if we want to have like a regional event or a state event, Like they're the ones that we need to talk
With
to.
standardized rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and then it basically just makes it like a full weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of ordeal.
Right now
Or-
we're in the works to doing one in February, March.
Here in
Two-day-
Norfolk?
Yeah, 2-day event. Yeah.
At
So-
the Cove?
Yep. It'll be in the bigger part. But yeah.
In
Oh, yeah.
Midtown, possibly. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so you just kind of run through bigger events and make sure that's all, up
So
to
this
their
is kind of
level and
opening up
service.
more doors,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
essentially, to expand if you want.
Yeah, just more future bigger tournaments, I guess. Essentially, more growth for businesses in Norfolk, sponsorship opportunities, stuff like that for local businesses and stuff to get their name out there, and just to invite locals and pros and everybody in between that want to come out and play and just get points and try to take that next step into bumping up their level.
What's really cool is the owner of Midtown Event Center, Scott. And he's all about this. And he's like, yeah, let's get all these vendors in, this vendor in. So he's like, let's go, go, go. So that's pretty cool to have that behind your back.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. That's all I got, I think, for today. We can always have you guys back on if you guys expand or
Yeah.
doing this. I really wanted to do a live show during one of the events, but I think that's going to be kind of tough to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
we
wiggle
can make it work because we could have you set up. Yeah, we could make it work. I
Yeah.
think
And it could be a night I don't have to play either. Just
Yeah.
kind of oversee everything. And
help commentate. You can
yeah.
commentate and help fill everybody in, kind of what's going on, and we can kind of tap into what we got live broadcasting and stuff like that. We could always figure something out. So we got enough apps and programs, I think, that we could.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be fun to have people kind of see what's going on, and I know you guys stream it live, but
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like that's one way to check it out. I mean, granted, we can only show 2 boards at a time, but I mean, just know that we have another 2 to 3 sets playing, throughout the whole night type of thing. So I guess boards 1 and 2, I guess, are our showcase boards, I guess.
Yeah.
And we try to switch our sponsor boards like every week, on those boards type of thing, just to help promote, the local businesses and stuff there.
I think it'd be fun to interview some of the players too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And you could
Whatever
definitely
you
do
need
it if you're doing a live, as long the music wouldn't matter because you're talking over the top of it. So
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fine there.
it'd just be background music, and the
Perfect. Okay.
licensing of Spotify has already got that.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, and we can always have adjustments in too, so we can have one side of the building have music and the other side not, just to kind of tone it down if we need to. Yeah, we can.
And maybe we can talk to Tiffany and Scott. Maybe, hey, can we move over to the big building for one night to kind of give you guys some more room?
Yeah, we'll see. I always like having the cozy setup too. It's
Yeah.
okay. I like being
Yeah, it
close,
is.
and
Yeah.
it's good. As long as somebody kicks the camera, then we're
Yeah, yeah, no.
good. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we'll probably end the show there.
Cool.
Again, we'll maybe get something lined up to go do that.
Yeah,
Be kinda
yeah,
fun.
for sure.
But big thanks to my co-host Vance Neidig, producer Cole Peterson. Without them, the show would not be what it is. Huge thanks to Dusty and Preston. We really appreciate you guys making time to come here today. Sorry about the power outage,
Yeah.
but keep on the look for more great episodes, and we'll see you guys next week.